Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming back at you with another Wargaming in Miniature video. In this video, we're going to assemble the Greek Light Cavalry that I got from Victrix into a couple of different units. Okay, so just to fill you in on what's going on, this is mainly just an assembly. We're not going to paint them or do anything like that in this video. That'll probably be the next video. Okay, so it comes with 12 models, and these 12 models you can make into a variety of different nationalities and weapon types and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and just take my horses, and we're going to snip them out and assemble the horses here in just a minute, and then we'll make a decision on what other things we're going to do. So give me just a second and I'll have these all snipped out. Okay, I've got them all cut out and paired up so that they can be assembled together. But before I assemble any of these, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and go over and see if I can find any discrepancies in the mold, or find out if I need to cut anything, trim any mold lines. So let me just go ahead and do those, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so now they're all trimmed. It did take a second to go through every single one of them and just make sure they were all trimmed. But these models are going to be super easy to put together. All you have to do is find your glue of preference, apply a little glue to one side of your horse and press them together, and they're pretty much done. You don't have to attach heads, you don't have to attach tails. Horses are just two pieces, left and right. Go together in one way. Boom, you got a horse, of course. Okay, and so let me just go ahead and start gluing all of these horses together. And once I get them all glued, should only take a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, it only took me about 5 minutes to get all these horses glued together. Now we're gonna snip out all these bodies, and then I'm gonna pick and choose heads and shields and arms in a moment. But let me go ahead and get all these bodies snipped out, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got all of them cut out, all the bodies cut out and trimmed. So I've got all the flash and flare off of them. Now I have to decide helmets, because I'm not doing any javelins. This set comes with arms and things like that with javelins. I'm playing Hail Caesar, and the Greek units that I'm going to be using these with are not javelins, they're spears. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the spear arms. Okay, so spears are the arms that are a little bit longer, you know, because size matters. All right, let me cut some spears out. I'll be right back. Okay, so because I knew I was going to be making more than one unit, I went ahead and got one of each of the types of swords and one horn for each of the units, right? And then 6 spears. That only makes 10. So I grabbed a couple of the longest javelins and the ones that are in a position where it looks like they're thrusting to make the other spears. All right, so and there's a little bit of flaring on these, and some trimming needs to be done. Once I get all the trimming done, then and I'll be right back. All right, guys, now on 3 of these models, their left arms needed to be modeled, and I'm not going to use the ones where they're holding extra javelins, even though that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If I wanted to make them javelin wielding like Cav, that'd be great. But I'm going to put shields on them, and so I'm going to use these arms that are just bent at the elbow. And we're just going to go ahead and attach those right away to these 3 armless torsos. Okay, and when you glue them on, just glue them on center to the sleeve so that makes it easier to paint. And it gives the illusion of 3 dimensions. Actually, it's not an illusion, it's real, but okay. So that's just an arm so that he can hold his shield out. Give that a couple of seconds to dry. I don't know if you're familiar with rapid fuse, but it only takes about 15 seconds to hold stiff, and then 30 seconds to cure. And I tried to put them in different angles so that they would all look unique. I'm just dropping them on the horses so that they don't sit on the, so they don't accidentally stick to the board here. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue arms on. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. It's in my way. There we go. Okay, now all of these bodies, they're effectively the same. They all have just a tunic on and some shoulder straps, and that's pretty much all they have. So there's no need to worry about like which one, and all their arms are low, like they'd be holding a shield or something. Now there is one set where the arm is raised really high. So that's what I'm going to do with the overhead. There should be only 3 of them like that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make one of the leaders with the really high arms. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and you don't have to watch me do every single one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the arms with the spears and with the swords to all their right arms. Once I get them all glued on, I'll be right back. All right, now I've already glued all of the arms on. Now I would like to point out, just kind of, it stumbled upon me as I was gluing these arms on. There are 3 bodies. Remember that I had to glue the left arms on. Well, the right arms are also needed to be glued on, but they have these long sleeves. These other guys have these tunics that go right over their shoulders, where these have the long sleeves. And if you pick an arm that has the shoulder still on it, like some of these others, and you try to attach it to this long sleeve, it makes that arm stick way out, and he looks inhuman, like he's got a 5-foot arm or something. So you got to be careful to use the right arms. I'm using the ones with the, I got a sword in this hand, and then I have, what do I have? He's got a spear going, and yeah, the two guys with sleeves both have the over-the-head spears, and they all look good like that. All right, so now we got all the arms on. Now we're going to cut out some heads and put them on. The Thessalians, they would have been the ones to wear the brimmed hat. All right, so I got all the heads that I'm going to use. There should be 12. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what I'm going to do is glue the torsos to the horses before I glue the heads to the torsos. Okay. I didn't mean for them to go on the horses that I had them sitting on. I just had them sitting on there randomly. So I'm taking them all off. Okay, so I want to put 2 leaders on those, and then, well, all the swordsmen, basically. Let's rephrase that. All swordsmen. Okay, here's a swordsman right here. Putting glue on his crotch. And then just setting him on the horse. All right, so now once I get all of the torsos glued to the horses, I'll be right back. All right, so now that they're all on their horses, now it's time to put the heads on. What we're going to do here is I made 6 of them with the plumes, you know, the horsehair plumes, and then 4 without. And I made 2 Thessalian heads. So both musicians, I'm not going to put the plumes on. That one could be a Thessaly guy. All right, now one of the final steps, putting these together, not counting the shields. I'm not going to glue the shields on. I'm going to paint them and apply decals to them and then glue them on. Because when you're applying decals to a shield, you got to apply pressure, and you could break them off the arms or what have you. So I've got some Litco pill bases here, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach the cav to the pills using tacky glue. Okay, so we're going to just reach underneath. What I do is I put it around the edge like so that when I push it down onto the pill, it'll squirt out all sides. Try to center it the best of your ability. Press it down so that the base, so the glue squirts out the sides of the base. Okay, so let me get all these glued onto these pills, and we'll be on to the next step. Now, just so you know, the ones with the fur blankets are too long for the pill bases, so I just snap off about 1/8 of an inch from the front, 1/8 of an inch from the back, approximately. Once you do that, now they'll fit. Okay, let me get them all glued down to the pills, and then we'll see the next step. All right, so they're all glued down on their bases. Now the next step would be obviously for me to prime them and paint them and then get the shields ready and glue them on last. But we're going to do that in the next video. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.